Oh, hey, since I'm not doing a show
This
Monday,
is the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral.com.
remind me we should pick the national title game right here. Good morning, Tuscaloosa. Good morning, Tuscaloosa, Internet World, West Alabama. How are we doing today on a Friday? Hope you're doing well. Getting ready for a big weekend. Getting ready for a cold weekend. Cold front coming in. Hope you're excited. It's the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral, BamaCentral.com. You're watching us on the BamaCentral YouTube channel, Facebook page, listening to us on Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify. We cannot wait to get into a Friday. We're live in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios right here off McFarland Boulevard. We appreciate Derek Daniel sponsoring the program, hosting the program. We are presented by Purple Turtle Roofing. Call Purple Turtle Roofing at 877-787-6635. For all of your roofing needs, you'll get a free roof inspection to make sure your home is good to go. Good to go ahead of the spring storm season. You want to make sure that you don't have any leaks, any cracks, any damage to your roof. Make sure you call Purple Turtle Roofing at 877-787-6635 today for your free roof inspection. Like we said, we're live in the Derek Daniel studio. It's a Friday on the Joe Gaither Show. You're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify. Subscribe, rate, review the show wherever you listen to the show on podcast platforms. Red Circle, BUBBL, really lots of other podcasts other than the main three that I always mention, all podcast platforms other than the main three that I always mention. So we're going to have a lot of fun today with Mason Woods. Follow Mason Woods at MAWoods_ on the Twitter machine. We really appreciate it. Got a lot of good comments yesterday on the Facebook side of things, really sparking several different conversations. And if you have a question or a comment or a query or complaint, you can leave us a comment in any of those platforms, and it'll pop up, and we'll address that right away. We've got a list of things to talk about, but if you got things you want to hear about, we will go that direction. We welcome your comments. We welcome your phone calls on the voicemail line at 205-462-7340, extension 800. So you can do that right there if you want to have your voice on the show and let us listen to your takes or your rants or your opinions or your questions right there on the voicemail line. I have how many tabs open, Mason, for visitors? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 visitors and a 7th prospective transfer portal target. So a lot of transfer portal targets this weekend, as the transfer portal, thank the Lord, praise the Lord, hallelujah, closes today. It finally closes today. You've hung on. You've made it. You're going to make it. Just another 12 hours or so. I guess technically it's 8:30, so you need about 16 more hours, roughly. So you need 16 more hours to manage the transfer portal, manage the outgoing transfers. There will be another 3, 4, 5, 7 days of incoming transfers because all these guys want to be enrolled in the January and the spring semester so that they can do fourth quarter program. I mean, fourth quarter anywhere, but at any school, they want to be re-enrolled so they can do spring practice and be on their new teams. I suppose you could sit out the whole spring semester and commit and re-enroll into a school in the summer.
Smart strategy.
Yeah, I mean, you could.
It can work out.
You could catch back up on the academics. I mean, it's not really.
Yeah, the academics is not the concern there.
Student athlete.
Yeah, you'd be fairly far behind the rest of your team development-wise and getting familiar with a new system and so on and so forth.
Yeah, student athletes. So
when you come here to play school.
That's right. You should. So you probably have about 6, 7 more days of actual really transfer portal news, but really for the anxious folks, only one more day of, hey, I hope my favorite player doesn't leave the Tide, doesn't leave my favorite team. So we're going to talk about some transfer portal targets. We're going to talk about Alabama going to Oklahoma in basketball tomorrow at noon. So you get the first day. I think it's at noon. You get the first. You get the early block of games. Isn't it at noon? Let's see. Noon. So you right there on the SEC Network. So you can knock that out of your day early and get to the rest of your honey-do list. Get to the NFL playoffs if that's what you're into. Do the chores around the house, and really have your first Saturday without college football in a long time. You had Thursday, Friday last week of college football,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So you didn't have college football last Saturday. It was NFL. You got one more Saturday of NFL, and then basically it's the last Saturday of football. Then, man, it just clicked with me. Oof.
Really goes so quick.
Woo, yeah.
We're about to enter the dark times.
In my dark times.
It's okay. NFL draft. We can focus on that, which might be tough this year.
Tough for you
From
or
an
for
Alabama perspective.
Right. You're looking at Caden Proctor and you're looking at Ty Simpson, and
I think those are your two guys.
You
who are
might
gonna be
be-
first rounders.
LT, you going to grade out really well? Just so
Hope
many
so.
edge rushers. A
Yeah,
lot
I
of
think
edge
he's
rushers.
just going to unfortunately kind of get pushed down. I think he's a good player, and I think the teams will like him, but I don't know that he's going to be worth a premium pick.
So let's get right into it. Make sure you follow Mason Woods at MAWoods_ on the Twitter machine, as he's writing all things recruiting for the Walsh Writing Network. I should have said, good morning. How are you?
Doing good this morning. Doing good. I had a relatively busy day yesterday, so that was nice. Got a little bit of Vanderbilt transfer portal news late, so I got to cover that. Good times.
Who'd they get? They get anybody fun?
Another edge rusher from Boston College, actually.
Are they
So
loading up?
They've done pretty well. They got 16 out, 16 in. So, and I think quality wise, they've brought in better players than left.
Dang, that Clark Lee.
He's got something brewing down there.
That Clark Lee and that Vanderbilt money, those alumni.
Yeah. It just goes to show you, it's a 2-part thing now. It's not just about having a good coach. You got to have the support from everyone else around him as well.
That's right. If you are thinking about football on Saturday, it's Bills Broncos at 3:30. It's 49ers Seahawks at 7 p.m. So
I
you
need
got
to see the Bills lose.
You'll roll right in from Bama hoops, Alabama Oklahoma at noon, Bills Broncos, 49ers Seahawks, bed. Boom.
Maybe we get to see Jalen Milroe. Sam Darnold added to the injury report this week with some kind of mysterious illness or something, I think.
He's got a shoulder oblique muscle strain.
Ooh, that doesn't seem good.
Yeah.
Jalen Milroe legacy run.
I'm pulling for the 49ers.
Seahawks defense lead Jalen Milroe to a Super Bowl.
49ers. Let's go.
I think the Niners probably have that one. Niners are good. They've really turned it on at the right time, seemingly.
They're a 7-point underdog.
That's disrespectful.
Yeah, it is. And Denver's a 1.5-point favorite. If you're into any of that,
I would love to see. I just need to the discourse that will happen around Josh Allen if he loses will just be so funny. I need to see it happen.
I don't think it's crazy. The Broncos defense is a monster.
All Bo Nix has to do is not lose the game, basically, and they can win.
Hand the ball off, complete a couple passes, and
just do enough.
That's right.
That defense will take you far.
If the 49ers win and something else happens on Sunday, some other team might have one more home game with them. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's get into Alabama stuff because that's what the people are here for. Let me flip back over, make sure we didn't have a comment. Right, we got a bunch of people watching. We appreciate you watching us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. You guys are awesome. You ladies are awesome. You people are awesome. Let's start with some of these transfer portal targets. All right, we already talked about Racing Nogati yesterday. Racing Nogati is on campus or was on campus yesterday. Cal Poly center, redshirt junior. Apparently, he was really, really highly graded at Cal Poly, and so really, really highly rated player. You want to start with him just to get that knocked out. Well, that'll be quick. I think you have 3 offensive linemen on campus or coming to campus this weekend. Racing Nogati, you have Nick Brooks, and you have Ethan Fields. Where I think if you walk away with 2 of these guys, you're feeling like your offensive line is pretty much set. If you feel like if you get all 3 of them, I think that you're doing a backflip.
Yeah, I would agree. You almost have, it's a good problem to have, but you almost put yourself in a bit of a situation there where you are going to have to make some hard decisions. Yeah,
and so Racing Nogati is a all Big Sky, second team all Big Sky for Cal Poly. So he's played smaller level football. But I don't think that should deter Alabama from getting him. You need a center badly, and I think you need experience. I think you need somebody hungry, and I think you need somebody. I don't want to say cheap, but not premium value, not expensive, not expensive. And I think this fills all those needs. When you're looking for somebody to snap the football, you're looking for somebody who can move. You're looking for somebody that's not going to cost you 3 arms and 3 legs. 6'10", 6'4", 310 pounds is what he's listed as. So bigger than Parker Brailsford by about 3 inches, 2 inches, and by about 10, 15 pounds. I think as much as Parker did great for us the last 2 years, and I think he was absolutely a warrior with a big old heart and left it all on the field for the Crimson Tide. Don't want to disrespect his play, but I do think sometimes his size, his 295, his 290 was just a little bit of, man, if you were 300, if you were 305, then it would have been better for you. I like this option for Alabama. I pre-wrote it for BamaCentral.com. Make sure you follow BamaCentral.com, Alabama Crimson Tide on SI, for all of the actual news. So it is sitting in the tank waiting for him to commit to the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, I mean, I like what I see from him, even as a prospect, who's a 3-star guy out of California there, 6'4", 310, like you just said. Had an offer from Arizona State, so obviously he did have at least some bit of Power 4 interest when he was as a recruit. So like, it's not like this is a guy that's just completely coming out of nowhere to, and it's, well, what are we doing? We're getting all these terrible, like, this is a guy that was recruited relatively highly. He just ended up choosing Cal Poly for whatever reason. So I think he's a good player, and I'm right there with you. You do need a center. A lot of people have really just penciled in Caden Strayhorn as center, and I don't know that that's exactly the option the staff wants to go to. I would imagine, and I don't have any insider information to back this up, but I would imagine at least you want to try to have the two guys who are familiar with each other, Michael Carroll and Caden Strayhorn, beside each other on the offensive line if you can.
Yeah, I'm sending you a Twitter DM with his tape that he tweeted out, because oftentimes a little harder to find the FCS stuff. But he's a nasty son of a gun.
That's what you're looking for.
Exactly. Good little snapper, gets out and moves. Now, obviously, you're moving against FCS competition, but he looks pretty dadgum athletic.
Attitude translates.
Yes, he looks like he's playing with good pad level. He looks like he's playing determined. He looks like he's playing decisively and finishing. I mean, finishing on these blocks. It is Delgatti pancake season. Really crushing some of these FCS defenders. Now, obviously, huge step up to the SEC, but yeah, another get to the second level, crush a linebacker. Like, give me some of this guy all day long. Oh, the guy takes a pass rusher, falls into his lap, and he just sits on top of him.
A lot of finishing blocks, which I love.
Yes,
it's not. Ooh. It's not. All right, starting. I'm going to hold you for 2-3 seconds. My job's done. No, it's. I'm going to push you on your butt, and then I'm going to sit on top of you for the rest of the play.
Drive those feet and look for work.
Yeah.
This one, he gets to the second level. There's nobody there. He turns his head and looks for more work and finds it. Like, drive those feet, make some contact, and don't stop. Yeah, there's a couple of these blocks that are nasty.
Crushed this linebacker.
This is a guy, Courtney Morgan. What do we got to say, man? What do we got to do here? This can be your Crimson Tide center, Rayson Delgatti. I'm a big fan. Name. Yeah, exactly.
Jersey will sell well, probably.
Delgatti.
Put him in like number 58. It feels good.
All those kids from New Jersey that come out of state.
Got to sell here. Maybe. How quickly do you think when a transfer portal commit joins Alabama, they go behind the Crimson Wall?
Fairly quickly, but you should, but you still should text him.
Might be worth it.
I think you should text him today. Hey, how's the visit going?
Shoot, you never know.
The other recruiting folks are doing that.
It's true.
And you're just as good as them. Honestly, I'm not trying to gas you up, but the other, the other lead recruiting guys on the other sites are reaching out to agents, and I would take that number down. Seriously, shoot him a text later today. Hey, my name's Mason Woods. Hope that Mason visit's going well. How's it going? See what's only the worst thing you can do is left on red.
Very true.
Exactly.
Happens a lot. I'm used to it at this point.
Oh, of course. These young men are not exactly the best at responding.
Very thankful to the ones that do, though. I want to make that clear. I'm very grateful to talk to the ones that I do get to talk with.
Absolutely. Cam Metzger on the Facebook machine. Offensive line play doesn't necessarily need the biggest, most athletic player. Give me a smart, experienced lineman all day. That's basically the whole Indiana offensive line. Smart, experienced, and nasty.
I agree with that wholeheartedly, especially at the center position. That is where you need that kind of player the most, I think.
Yeah, so Racing Gotti, don't leave Tuscaloosa until you sign pen to paper.
Yeah.
So let's move on. You got two more offensive linemen that are not FCS offensive linemen. Nick Brooks is a Texas freshman, or was a Texas freshman. He was four-star recruit in the class of 25 out of Grayson High School in Georgia, 6'5", 349 pounds. Big old joker right here is in the transfer portal and reportedly is visiting Tuscaloosa as well. So Nick Brooks, let's put you on.
Can I say something that's maybe a little crazy?
Sure.
I don't think I'm that interested.
Okay. Well, but
He's too big.
big.
He's
okay.
too big. It's just. I mean,
That's
look,
fine.
He might be good. He might be nasty. He might be a mean SOB. He's too big. We're trying to get smaller and a little bit more athletic. I mean,
That's okay.
He doesn't. He doesn't bring a high level of experience. He's he's obviously, I guess, rated very highly. So there's people talking about him that probably know a lot more than I do. But I don't know, man. It just worries me. You had a big issue this year where you were too big across the offensive line, and this feels like just falling right back into, well, look at how big he is. How could he be bad? And it's like, it doesn't matter how big you are, you can still be bad.
Oh yeah, if you're playing with bad pad level, you can definitely be bad. You can be just a bump on a log. That's just a YouTube video of 30 seconds saying that he's in the transfer portal. Does anybody have any sort of highlights? I believe he played in 5 games for Texas this year. Yeah, he appeared against Sam Houston. He appeared against Florida, Oklahoma, Kentucky, and Mississippi State.
You want to read? You want to hear something from a scouting report on?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Naturally high center of gravity compromises leverage. Gets too far out over his feet at times. More of a catcher than a puncher. Has flashed encouraging punch in some past pro reps. Look, maybe he's not that kind of player after a year at Texas. This feels like more of a project than something you really need to add.
Yeah, and I don't know.
He's a 4-star prospect. He's a 4-star transfer prospect. He's probably commanding a decent price tag.
From Texas as well. He's probably used to making a little money.
I don't know that this is the route you want to go to Alabama. Look, bring him in, let him see Tuscaloosa. Maybe I'm totally wrong here. But it feels like just with the way that we have talked about the transfer portal and the method that Alabama is kind of taking it, I don't know that this is the way you want to
go. Some people call him a tackle. Some people calling him a guard.
6'5", 6'6". I've seen all three. But at this point, I saw ESPN 6'6", 247, 6'7", and then I guess the roster page is 6'5". Too big for a guard. He's too big to play on the inside, my boy.
Oh, good. I got senior season.
Unless Austin Mack's quarterback. You can be as tall as you want.
Well, yes.
He'll be taller.
Austin Mack, 6'9", 7-footer.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know, man.
I found the senior season highlights.
Maybe I'm crazy. Please, if I am wrong, I will be happy to admit that I was wrong. But my initial opinion, a little too big.
A little too big. So let's see what he did at high school in Grayson. Senior season highlights. No, Nick. No, I don't want to middle. I sent you the wrong thing. I sent you
I see.
I definitely sent you a linebacker, not an offensive lineman. That's okay.
Grayson, you said?
Yeah, that's okay. If you find it, you can send it to me. We'll move on to Ethan Fields, because I think that, like I said, 2 out of 3 of these linemen is what you want to do, and you want to get the right fit. If Nick Brooks isn't the right fit, okay. If he wants to come here and lose 15 pounds, sweet. Ethan Fields is coming on a visit from Ole Miss, and this gives me a nice place to transition while you Google some things.
I just can't find a huddle page.
That's okay.
That's crazy.
Have you followed what's going on with Ole Miss?
Just a bit. I kind of see bits and pieces of it. I try not to get too involved because it's all a mess. But I do see pieces of it, and it looks or sounds rather chaotic.
The broad brushstrokes are, apparently contracts have been leaked out in the building, either in the building or in some group text or in some document. Basically, the whole team's been able to find out what the teammates are making, and a lot of the teammates are not happy. Billy 5 stars making more than I am, and Billy 3 stars making more than I. Like, basically, it's created infighting and jealousy, and apparently, a lot of the recent transferees from Ole Miss are disgruntled based on contract situations.
Did you see the rumor that
Ye-
Lane Kiffin was behind the leaking of these contracts?
Yes.
And that he has every Ole Miss player basically on speed dial, is what I read this morning.
Nuts.
That's
what a
dirty.
dirty.
I mean, that's dirty. You know, and I don't know that this is even a confirmed story or not, but a lot of Alabama fans do have very low opinions of Kirby Smart for a story that was thrown around about the way he left Alabama, doing not even close to as bad as this. But like the LSU Ole Miss game, it's in Oxford this year, right? That is going to be pure cinema because we are going to see the most unhinged, ruthless fan performance that we have ever seen in a college football game, maybe. Lane Kiffin, you have dug your grave and you have dug it very, very deep at this point. You better hope you have a good year, my boy.
It's not like
because if all of this blows up in his face, he'll never get another job again. Not in a big Power 5, Power 4 program.
exactly. You better cash in right here at LSU.
If this blows up, your career is basically done. You better hope that some NFL team wants to bring you on to be an assistant or something, because that's about going to be your only option.
Exactly. And if you're like, I understand, like, I kind of get, I kind of understand the tampering. I don't like it, but I kind of understand the tampering.
It just is what it is.
What I don't love from this is it doesn't seem like tampering. It just seems like sowing chaos.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like, well, I want all of you guys to come to LSU.
It's just, I want you to leave Ole Miss.
Yes. I don't care where you go.
He's still mad they didn't let him coach the playoff.
I think
he's bitter about it.
I think the last 2 months have shown you that was a smart decision.
I would agree.
That he wasn't going to be as focused on Ole Miss, wasn't going to be dialed in. At least
They
Pete
wouldn't have beat Georgia if he was coaching.
Yeah, playoff Pete got it done. Playoff Pete got you, five. That Miami game was close, right?
Yeah,
That play.
I mean, they lost to what the Carson Beck scored with like 10 seconds left.
Right. So playoff Pete had you right on the cusp of playing for a national title.
Right,
man, nuts. So, anyways, back to Alabama.
Ethan
Fields is in the transfer portal, and he is, let's see, class of 23. So, red shirts as a freshman in 23, redshirt freshman this past year, 4 total games for the hotty toddy Ole Miss Rebels this season. And former. This says that was 24. Excuse me, 24. He played in 4 total games. He played in 15 games in 25. Okay. So look, some of these college pages are a little confusing because they're not updated. So he's played in 15 and 4, 19 games for the Ole Miss Hotty Toddy Rebels. So he'll be a redshirt junior. So this is exactly, what you're wanting as far as experienced player. 3-star prospect out of Dutchtown High School in Geismar, Louisiana. Came out of there 6'3", 320. So he's not 350 like our man Nick Brooks was. 320. That was from
more compact too.
That was from his 247 page. What is Ole Miss? Ole Miss has him, 6'3", 320. So pretty nice little size comparison. And I did find his huddle tape. And I mean, obviously this is going back to high school, but he is crushing kids in high school. Playing with fine pad leverage, playing guard mostly, right here for Dutchtown High School. But to me, you bring in another guard, like you're starting to really compose this offensive line in a nice way. Like, no, you don't have Jordan Seaton. Okay, you don't have, give me a great tackle. You don't have Orlando Pace coming in, right?
Sure.
It's fine. But you have a lot of a nice skill set.
I think so,
and I think that you're doing it, spending the money wiser. Like, do you want to give Cam Coleman $3 million, or do you want 3 offensive linemen?
Give me 3 offensive linemen, please.
See, it's obvious. Yeah. So, don't get so upset over the weekend and you lose Hollywood Smothers. That's a bad deal. But what does that money save turning into?
Also, what does that tell you about him as a player? Not to really poo-poo on him for just making a deal that was best for him and his family, but that is. I hate to say it's an indicator of your personality, my man. It just is what it is. You obviously were never really that committed to Alabama, so we don't want you here anyway. I think that's kind of the attitude this staff should have.
Absolutely. So there's 3 offensive linemen: Nick Brooks, Rayson Delgatti, and Ethan Fields. You finding the Ethan Fields
Ethan Fields
stuff?
getting out on a pull here just crushed a kid.
Let's do it. Like,
got quick feet. I'm excited.
Let's revamp this whole offensive line.
I think. I mean, obviously, last year was you got a lot of potential this year, and we thought it was going to be pretty good. And I think you have a lot of potential in this group. You have less experience probably, but if you're able to get 2 or 3 of these guys, I think you feel like you're set. You feel like you at least have a unit that you can put together a competent offensive line with.
And that would put, like, if you got all 3, that would put you from, I think I said 12. That would put you from 12 to 15 offensive linemen, and that would basically max you out in the room because you do want to have 3 units. You want to go 3 deep at every position if you can, and that would max you out. And like everybody, well, the offensive line's decimated. I don't think it quite. Like, you do need 2 more. Sure. You need to get to 14. If you got to 15, that's a bonus.
Yeah.
But I think the staff taking a deep breath. Fan base, take a deep breath, let them bring some guys in. Yeah. It doesn't have to be the A+ 5-star player.
There are still thousands of players in the transfer portal. Like it is, there are so many options out there, folks. Just because you didn't get, Jordan Seaton or fella from NC State, Jacarius Pete, like you're okay. There's guys out there.
All right, so those are the 3 offensive linemen. You've got 2 players from Oregon that are also we talked a little bit about Terrence Green yesterday. Terrence Green is apparently visiting today. He's a defensive lineman, 6'5", 320, long defensive lineman who can play a little bit of nose guard, can play a little bit of 3 technique, played out at Oregon for the last couple of seasons. I think he was a redshirt sophomore. Is that correct? Yeah, redshirt sophomore, and ended up playing in multiple games. Let's see, played in all 15 games for Oregon this year, 3 in 24 and 3 in 23. Ends up with career-wise 22 total tackles, 3 for a loss, 1 sack. So not extremely, very Tim Keenan-like, right? Yeah. Very Tim Keenan-like. Not going to pop off the stat sheet, but is going
Space eater.
I think you need that. I think that you look in the defensive line room, and that is kind of the big empty spot is in a space eater position, is in a nose guard position. Because I like London Simmons, but London Simmons is a little bit more of a penetration. I'm going to beat you with some speed type player. Dang, I got a little tape on Terrence Green, and he's already dominant, decimate, blowing up an offensive line. So I think that this is a guy that apparently, Dan Lanning was not too happy to lose. And if Dan Lanning's not happy to lose a defender, and you can get him, I think that's somebody that you want to be able to go ahead and get. He's playing a lot of outside on his huddle tape from high school, so it looks like he's transitioned inside a bit. And once he's come to college, still learning. I think you get a redshirt junior defensive lineman, and you're feeling pretty good about that. The redshirt junior defensive lineman from they made the quarterfinal. Did they make the
semifinal? That's when they got.
Oh yeah, Indiana. Yeah, that Friday night I didn't watch that game because I didn't think it was going to be a game, and it wasn't.
It wasn't.
Oh yeah, they made the semifinal.
I was so wrong.
That's okay. The other Oregon player is Blake Purchase. Blake Purchase is out of Cherry Creek in Inglewood, Colorado, class of 2023. So
4-star prospect,
right? My man's is a decent little player apparently. And I guess is his Oregon page already gone? No, it's right there. I scrolled right past him. Go ahead.
Oh, just, this past season, I've got here on ESPN 13 tackles, 2 sacks, and a pick. What pick is pretty cool.
Redshirt sophomore, played all 15 games this year. I think that's all he's played. He didn't play. Appeared in 6 games in 24, 15 games in 25. So there we go. Played in 14 games as a true freshman. So really not bad. I guess
I'm really confused. ESPN has 3 seasons worth of stats, but has him listed as a sophomore.
Looks like in 24 he played in 6 games, 4 regular season games and redshirted, so 2 postseason games.
Okay.
So played as a true freshman, then 24
Mhm.
played in 4 games as a sophomore, utilized a red
Sure.
shirt. So this year was his red shirt sophomore year. So 3 years of college experience, going to be a red shirt junior, another edge rusher, and looks like a wolf.
Yeah.
And you need a wolf. You need like look. I love you that you have Yanzi Pierre back, but I think that you definitely need more wolf help. Yanzi Pierre and Justin Hill out there, but I think you don't want to have just those 2 guys. I think those 2 guys are pretty solid, but I think that the more you can add to that room, the better.
Yeah, I think if you can get, I really like Justin Hill as a player, but I don't know that you necessarily want to rely on him to be the only other option there because he's just inexperienced. And if you can go out and get a guy who has a bit more experience like Blake Purchase does, I think you definitely do, just to alleviate some of the pressure off of Justin Hill, maybe. Because look, I don't think anybody's taking snaps from Yanzi, but I think you could definitely split Justin Hill's snaps up a bit.
There we go. So Blake Purchase and Terrence Green from Oregon are both reportedly supposed to be coming to visit.
I got the huddle tape pulled up right here, and he's just got 1 2.5 minute video titled "Sacks," and this first clip, he comes screaming off the edge and completely buries this right tackle and just sends him straight into the quarterback and takes them both down.
We love it. We love it.
That's a nice play. That's a nice play right there.
All right, so there you go on the defensive side, and I think those are the guys that are reportedly visiting.
I'm sure we'll see more too by the end of the next week or so.
Right, there's gonna so you've got reported visits from the 3 offensive linemen we talked about, reported visits from the 2 defenders we talked about, and a reported visit from Yale wide receiver Nick Brown.
Nico, I think.
Nico Brown. Yes. Thank you very much.
Had a really good season for Yale. Now it's a good season for Yale, but
shoot, that's
impressive nonetheless.
That's a good season for anybody.
I mean, sure, yeah.
But 71 catches this year. Yeah, 71 catches, 1,085 yards, and 11 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And you look at your wide receiver room, and you're like, you don't really need any more superstar types, but you're at 6. If you get to 7, I think you're feeling better.
This guy is Cole Adams.
He'll
be the Cole Adams
2.0.
Cole Adams never had this level of production, but this guy will be Cole Adams. He very sure-handed. He posted his highlight or his little tape on Twitter or whatever. I watched the first bit of it. Really sure-handed, not the most eye-popping athleticism, not the fastest guy, but he caught almost he catches everything that's thrown at him.
6 foot, 185 pounds, 190 pounds, so a little undersized. He did that in 10 games.
That's impressive.
Right, 71 catches in 10 games. Yale plays just a little bit different of a schedule than I am used to, and he was in on a visit.
The receiver.
I'm just saying, like, you're looking at value adds. Who can we get that are under the radar, but still? I think we could use this guy, or I could see this guy contributing. Absolutely. Nico Brown. I'm not going to sit here and say he's going to be all SEC because that'd be foolish, and but I do think that this fits exactly what we're talking about Monday, Tuesday of, hey, we want to look for guys that were underutilized, guys that didn't get their opportunities, or this guy got his opportunities, but on a smaller stage.
Yeah.
Same thing with Race Nogati. Got his opportunity, smaller stage. You look at Blake Purchase, it hasn't really, played in these games, but probably not full-time role at Oregon. You look at Nick Brooks, from Texas, and it's like, you only played in 5 games last year. Did Texas really use you that well? I think that the staff is certainly, hovering under the radar and picking and choosing. Do you want to come to Tuscaloosa? Do you want to come to Tuscaloosa? And then they come to town and see if it's a fit.
Yeah, I think this offseason has been very big for them to really learn just kind of where they stand as far as all the transfer portal things go. Like, they seemingly have a pretty good understanding right now of where they're at. And it's like, all right, we have to operate right here. We can't go above where we're at. It's just not going to happen. So I think this indicates that they have a pretty good understanding of it.
Our man Keith Connell says, nothing to fear, Alabamas. He said, what's up, homies? Good news. I contacted DeBoer and told him I'm hitting the portal and coming to Bama. An old, overweight, undersized defensive back, just what Bama needs. Everyone just relax now. So we're all safe. Keith Connell is on his way. Keith, appreciate your service.
No fly zone.
Hope you end up getting a big old NIL check. And, I hope that you stay off social media because the Bama fans will be mean to you.
Yeah, that's probably good advice for any player that's ever played at Alabama. Just don't even bother with social media, my man.
Yeah. How about, I don't think we ever even really talked about it, the Kendrick Bingley Jones thing where he was like, I know that the fans don't believe in me because of my numbers, but I hope to come to prove myself.
All right, man.
What? Like, that's a shame.
Yeah, I'm sad that you feel that way.
That's a total shame.
But I'm sure he saw the reports of him visiting on Twitter and then saw the replies under it of people saying, why are we going to get this guy? Well, why would we want somebody that didn't do nothing? Well, why would we want such an old player? You know, I'm sure he read all of those as every single athlete does. Any athlete that says, oh, don't look at social media, they're lying to you. They look at it and they see the horrible things that you say to them. So I'm sad that, yeah, he feels that way. That's disappointing, but I don't think he's wrong, probably. I'm sure he did see some unfortunate comments.
What do you think an athlete could do if all he saw on social media was encouragement? Do you think it would make them relax and be not as, oh, I don't have to work as hard because everybody's on my side? Or do you think it'd be, oh man, Billy Roll Tide XYZ 123 says I can do it. I'm gonna go to the weight room and I'm gonna do it today.
There's probably a fine balance there.
Sure.
Because I mean, I understand and this is not what the people who say these horrible things are thinking, but I understand how players can gain motivation out of it. You know, I heard somebody say on a podcast, like every athlete ever thinks that they have a million haters out there, and it's just, you know, it's part of being an athlete. So like I get that aspect of I'm going to prove these people wrong. Haters. You know? But I also think that, hey man, just encourage them. They're kids for the most part. These are 18 to 22-year-olds for the most part. I know there's some outliers here and there, but just be nice. You know, you ain't got nothing nice to say. Don't say nothing at all.
The money factor really changes things in the fans'
and
minds.
That, I think in it, you have absolutely seen it. You know, fans have always been mean. Fans have always said mean things on Twitter, but the money thing, it's really gotten
They're
bad.
Professionals now. Are they? Sort of.
Yeah. That's the same person that argues, well, they're students. You know,
they get to play whichever track they want in whichever situation they want.
Yeah. No, that definitely has not helped in that aspect, I'm sure. I imagine if you talk to an athlete, they would tell you the same thing, that ever since the money happened, they've noticed a lot more disparaging comments about them on social media.
All right, so one more guy. This guy's not reportedly visited yet, but I think that there is absolutely a visit coming from Jacoby Clinton. And the reason for that is because he's related. I couldn't tell if it's a direct younger brother or if it's or what the relation is, but Jacoby Clinton, linebacker out of West Florida. University of West Florida Argonauts, 6'2", 230 pounds, redshirt senior. My man's got like 15 years of experience, right? Holy smokes. Played at Southeastern in 22 and 23, played in 24 and 25. The GSC Defensive Player of the Year. Gulf South Conference, is that right? I just made that up. Related to HaHa Clinton Diggs.
Yeah, I saw
some form. They say brother.
Yeah, I saw younger brother last night, so I guess we'll roll with that.
But. Right. They say younger brother in the transfer portal. It has hit the transfer portal as of like the last day or two. No reported visits yet for Jacoby Clinton, but fits the size profile at 6'2", 230. And you talked about it yesterday about having another inside linebacker, a Kai Hill Green type with a lot of experience who can just float in and out of the lineup. Yeah. This is that. And surely you can get the family discount. HaHa Clinton disc.
I would have to imagine so. I almost tweeted yesterday when I saw it, like, if you can't get this guy, there is something seriously wrong with this staff.
Now there's no reported interest yet, but it's just like fairly obvious.
Come on. Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. I think if you can't connect the dots here, we got bigger fish to fry. Yeah, Alabama, I think you should be. I still agree with what I said yesterday. Like, I would like to see just a old man linebacker to kind of sure things up in the room, and he's absolutely that. A lot of experience. Now I understand it's not like he played at Oregon or something and has all this D1 power four experience, but it's experience nonetheless. He's seen a lot of college football. He knows how the game goes, and we're not expecting him to come here and start every play and play every down. You're coming here to be in the rotation.
Violent is what I see on his little highlight tape. Lots of violence, which is perfect. Perfect. Come here, be violent on 20% of the defensive snaps,
Yep.
and be a good teammate, and see if you can get on the radar of NFL decision makers.
I mean,
Jacoby Clinton,
a very decorated player at this level, like you said, GSC Defensive Player of the Year, GSC First Team, First Team All Region, First Team All America, GSC Defensive Player of the Week 1 week this year, led the GSC
Gulf
in
South
tackles.
Conference. I made that up, and I was right.
Bang. 78 tackles, 7 sacks, 2 interceptions. I mean, good player at the level he was playing at. So I think, if you can come here and not really expect him to be a world beater, he'll probably be pretty good for you.
Ooh, this Gulf South Conference has lots of great colleges: Delta State, Mississippi College, West Alabama, Auburn, Montgomery, Montevallo, UAH, Alabama Huntsville, Lee College, Valdosta State, Georgia. Now, Valdosta State is fairly well known and recognized, and Delta State as well. It wasn't Pete
Fighting
Golding.
Okra.
Wasn't Pete Golding Delta State?
Oh, I think that's right. Yeah.
There we go. So Jacoby Clinton. There's the 7 guys that should be on your transfer portal radar. 6 of them already with visits scheduled or on a visit. Racing Delgado yesterday on a visit, but 6 of them on a visit or scheduled a visit. And then obviously Jacoby Clinton being the 7th. I think you should see a visit coming fairly soon. I think that he fits, probably not going to have to pay a whole lot of money for him, in a position of, hey, we'll shear up the inside linebacker. I mean, you had 3 vets this past year. Like, that kind of gives you a number of what they're looking for. Deontay, Justin, and Nikhai Green is 3. Caden and QB Reese is 5. And then the three freshmen was 8. Well, you're at 6 right now. You're at 7, right? You're at 6. You're at Caden. You're at QB Reese. You're at Caleb Woodson. You're at Caleb Woodson, and then you're at the 3 young guys.
Abdul Sanders,
Luke, and Luke and Duke.
Yeah,
Luke and Duke. Hey man, when those 2 get on the field, Luke and Duke banging heads. Duke and Luke.
Alabama right now sitting at 10 players added by the way of the transfer portal. That's second to last in the SEC. But you go out and get 4 or 5 of these guys, you're right up there in the middle of the pack.
He says, hey, gives him a reason to work hard, gives him that chip on his shoulder. Keith Connell saying, hey, Ollie. Ollie saying, hey, Keith. But Keith Connell, hey, gives him a reason, him being Jacoby Clinton, a reason to work hard, gives him that chip on his shoulder. So I think these guys are all good targets, and targets that fit the bill of, hey, we're not looking to break the bank, but we're looking for guys who are hungry, guys who can fit the system, guys in positions of need. And I think this should, obviously I'm usually an optimist, but I think that these names and the activity in the transfer portal this week should give the Alabama fan base a little more security that the coaching staff knows what they're doing.
I agree.
They know what they're working with. They know what their resources are, and they know how to market their resources effectively across the 5,000 players or whatever in the transfer portal.
Yeah, I agree. I feel a lot better about where the staff is at.
Yeah. So that's all of the guys on the transfer portal target list. Let me tell you about Purple Turtle Roofing. We'll move on to the next topic. You can call Purple Turtle Roofing at 877-787-6635 for your free roof inspection today. At Purple Turtle Roofing, we're not just another contractor. We're your neighbor and your advocate when it comes to protecting your home or business. With years of hands-on experience, top-tier certification, and a commitment to excellence, we've built a reputation as Alabama's go-to roofing solution. We specialize in residential roofing, commercial roofing, emergency storm repairs, full-on roof replacements, insurance claim support, and more. We want to give our well wishes to Brax Garrison as he's been dealing with a little bit of something on the family side of things. We missed him this week. Be thinking about Brax. Call him and his team today. Call Dustin Foley and his team today at 877-787-6635 for all of your roofing needs. They'll come out, give you a free roof inspection, let you know how long your roof has got, if your roof has got any trouble spots, if you got any broken shingles or screws that are not quite right on your metal roof. They'll make sure that everything is good to go for the spring season ahead. You know the storms are coming. It's going to be bitter cold this weekend, so make sure that you have the right roof so that you have peace of mind and you can stay in your home on those nasty nights. So call Purple Turtle Roofing today at 877-787-6635. We appreciate them sponsoring the program, and I'd appreciate you if you gave them a call. All right, Mason, we got most of it already handled. I've got the basketball team going to Oklahoma, and I got one more little football topic if I like. Okay, I see what you just said. Perfect. Well, cyber attack.
What's new?
Apparently, Elon's app is going in and out of service at the moment. So we'll see what that means for world news and for maybe he just didn't pay the bill.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Basketball though.
Yeah, roll tide.
Gotta play Oklahoma.
Alabama taking on Oklahoma tomorrow at noon. Oklahoma has had, where's my sheet right there? Oh, I got two of the same sheet open. That's not what I want to do. Oklahoma is at 57. Is that right? Yeah. Oklahoma 57 in the Ken Palm, 37th best offense, 131st best defense, defensive efficiency. They have played the 103rd strength of schedule. Their strength of schedule is at 103, according to the Ken Palm. Alabama's strength of schedule, number 1. So Alabama is number 2 offensively, number 71 defensively. We will hear from Coach Nate Oates later today, and I'm sure he's going to tell us all about who's available and who's not available. I'm being facetious right there. We'll see who is available. If Taylor Bowen is back for this game, he told us on Tuesday night that there was a chance that he would be back, but I wouldn't expect Keaton Bristow to be back, and I'd probably expect Latrell Wrightsell to still be out. Collins and Davion Hanna are still indefinite, and so you're at least down 4 right there. And so your rotation was 8 players deep. Well, really 9 because you added walk-on Preston Murphy Jr. a little bit to the rotation against Mississippi State. So you're at 9, 10 players. So that's still plenty of guys to get it done against Oklahoma. Oklahoma has beaten St. Francis. What other? You got any good wins here? Your best win, your highest opponent is 59, Ole Miss, probably. You beat Ole Miss, Oklahoma, 86-70. You beat Stetson, Mississippi Valley State, Kansas City, Oklahoma State, 64th in Ken Palm, Wake Forest, 60th in Ken Palm, Marquette, Alcorn State, Oral Roberts, Arkansas, Pine Bluff, and St. Francis. So no real, banner wins yet for Oklahoma. You've lost to Gonzaga. You lost to Gonzaga 83-68. You lost to Nebraska. You lost to Arizona State. And then you are on a 3-game losing streak in the SEC, losing to Mississippi State, Texas A&M, and Florida. Losing to Mississippi State, gross.
That's tough.
72-53.
LeBaron, you hear that? Go get 40. Go get 50. Aiden, go get another career high. Give me 25 and 10 rebounds. Amari Allen, another double-double.
Lord Kenny Pomeroy has them losing the next 4 games. This is absurd. Lord Kenny Pomeroy. Lord Kenny Pomeroy has this game predicted as an 89-85 Alabama win.
That seems interesting. Oklahoma does have a decent amount of size, I guess. You've got the senior.
Oh, we all know this guy.
Elatantsev from Russia. I'm not even going to try to say the town name, whatever it is.
Well, I'm looking at the Ken Palm depth chart, and they put it as percentage points played. You remember this fella? Muhammad Waki.
It's amazing that he's still there. I feel like the guy's been in college for 15 years.
Yeah, 2 years at West Virginia, a year or 2 here in Tuscaloosa, now at Oklahoma. Muhammad Waki, 6'10", senior, plays 45% of the center minutes. Tay Davis, 6'9", plays 55% of the power forward minutes. Oh, our man Darian Reed. Reed plays 32% of the small forward minutes and 26% of the power forward minutes. So Darian getting a lot of action out there. They've got that is one way to spell Xavier. Xavier Brown plays shooting guard. Xzayvier. That is definitely a way to spell Xavier. Nigel Pack is a college basketball extreme veteran. Where else have you played? Yeah, Miami. That's where he played before and Kansas State.
A lot of old men on this team.
2 years at Kansas State, 3 years at Miami, and now at Oklahoma for Nigel Pack.
What is happening in college basketball? What are we doing, people?
Get these old men out of my
sport. Get them out. It's insane.
Is it okay if they have 4 graduate degrees? Maybe.
No. You're still an old no. Go get a job. Go play professionally or get a job. Those are your options.
Europe
you don't just get to keep playing college basketball.
Europe and Israel and Russia and China are there free to play basketball.
Yeah,
if you can't play the NBA.
Exactly. If you want to play basketball that dang
Greece,
bad, you
Spain.
go find yourself an opportunity. You don't get to just come beat up on 18-year-olds.
You remember Alex Reese? Alex Reese went to like Luxembourg.
Yeah, he did.
For a couple years and then made it to Oklahoma City's roster.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Did he win a title technically?
I don't know if he technically got a ring or not, but
either. Interesting. Let's see. Wonder if I can find out.
Yeah, this Kirill Ilitantsev is 6'11", 240 as a senior. He's playing 23% of their center minutes. So you'll see him a little bit, but mostly you're going to be seeing Muhammad Wagi playing center. Where are you at? That's not the one I want. I want Kirill. This is his only year in college. So this guy must have from. I will not even be able to pronounce that city in Russia. Krasnoyarsk, Russia. All right, good job. Hopefully you don't have a great game against Alabama. I think that this is a game I don't really see rebounding to be as big of an issue with only one big man, and hopefully you can draw. Look, Muhammad Wagi, not exactly the greatest athlete when he was here, and not necessarily tough man, tough guy. He's going to foul you hard. Maybe Aiden Sherrell. Look, Aiden, can you go 2 of 6 from 3-point? Can you go 2 of 5 from 3-point line? Stretch out the interior, open up the lane. But Darian Reed will be a little bit of a challenge to guard, I believe.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do you have a little game log for him? Yeah, you do. Heck yeah. Darian Reed, 4 points against Florida, so not so hot. 19 against A&M, 11 against Mississippi State, and 6 against Ole Miss. So not exactly the huge scoring threat. Rebounding, you've got 3 rebounds against Florida, 11 rebounds against A&M, 3 rebounds against Mississippi State, and 5 rebounds against Ole Miss. So not going over there and having like a massive impact. I mean, good player, but basically playing the exact same player as he was in Tuscaloosa.
Sure.
I don't think 89-84 does it.
That just doesn't feel right. No. And I mean, look, he's Mr. Ken Pomeroy has been right before on this show, but
he said, "Let's get the Cam Metzger. Let's get the old men out of football as well." Yes,
get the old men out of college sports. Get the old people out of college sports.
He said, "Cam Metzger. It's sad the way college sports have gotten grown men playing against 18-year-olds. Like it's absurd. 5 years. You get 5 years to play 4, and honestly, I'll just give you that 5th year. You can play 5 years. Play your freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year, and I'll give you a bonus year.
I'll give you a super senior.
Right. But after that,
you're done.
And
they got to quit handing out these waivers willy-nilly.
The only exceptions for me is medical red shirt where you busted your ACL. And there's got to be a line where you play in 3 games. You can't get a medical red shirt if you bust your ACL in the 4th game. Like somewhere in that line.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that line. That's just bad luck. Injuries happen in all your sports.
Got to junior college does count, buddy. Sorry, Trinidad. Sorry, Diego Pavia.
Exactly. Like you aren't good enough in high school to get to D1. You play JUCO to stay on everybody's radar and to be on the field. Fine, great. I hope it worked out for you.
Counts towards your eligibility.
Like maybe you went to JUCO because you were a dummy in high school and didn't have good grades. Like still, you did that to yourself. Like. I know this is old man screams at cloud and boomer take like get off my lawn, but like life has consequences. If you bleep up in high school and you don't go to class, you don't make the grades, you got to go to JUCO. Like that's just your path, buddy. It's not just it's unfair. It's the path that you are on.
Yeah, you only did it to yourself.
Yeah, Keith Connell. We need to beat Oklahoma by 20. Rest up and get healthy.
I would agree with
all that. 3 of those things. All 3 of those things need to happen for the Crimson Tide. I do expect those 4 players to be out.
Yeah.
I expect Bull Bowen to be game time decision / limited participant. So I expect LeBaron and Aiden, you guys need to look at each other in the eye and say, we're going to have to do this thing.
Yeah.
And Aiden Sherrell, and look, you keep getting just what you're getting from Noah Williamson.
Just 10 good minutes.
Right. I think that you can walk out of Norman feeling pretty good. I'll say Alabama. I'll go 89 with Lord Kenny Pomeroy, but I think 89-70. 70. 89-73. That's what I'll say. 89-73.
92-78.
There we go. 92-78. All right. So we are going to get out of here for the day. I appreciate everybody hanging out on the comments section. Keith Connell, Cam Metzger, Ollie Woods hanging out with us, chiming into the program. We talked about the 6 or 7 transfer portal prospects that Alabama's got their eyes on. We talked about the basketball team. Thank you very much. Let's pick the national chat. I'm not going to have a show on Monday. Because I'm going to Chicago to watch the Bears play. If you are, man, I am so excited. So there will not be a show on Monday. Just logistically, it's just not going to happen. So I apologize for that ahead of time. We will have a show on Tuesday. We'll talk about the Oklahoma game just a little bit on Tuesday with Mason. We'll talk about whatever happens in the transfer portal over the weekend on Tuesday. But there's a big game on Monday too, and it's college football, and it's Miami and Indiana in the national championship game. So I know a lot of you guys are going to be super excited about that. I will be watching the national championship game. I'll be back and kind of in a good place. Tuesday, I'll be remote. I'll be in Nashville by that, so we'll be remote, but I will have a show. We'll do it normally like when I'm in Nashville. Then I'll be back here in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios on Wednesday. College football scoreboard, CFP. Let's find out what the actual line is in that game. Indiana is 8.5-point favorites. Massive favorite. But why wouldn't they be? They've been beating the dog mess out of everybody they've played.
I've seen the question, like, is this Indiana team one of the best college football teams of all time? People are talking.
I mean, from the result standpoint, absolutely. Would you put
from a talent standpoint? No.
Sure, right. I would put 01 Miami to beat them. I'd put 2020 Alabama maybe to beat them.
We'll see, though.
I'd put 19 LSU to beat them.
You think so? But then you get into that game, and it's like, oh, Indiana plays perfect football.
Yes.
So, like, I struggle to think of teams that would beat them because as good as those teams were, 2019 LSU, their defense was flawed. You know, you made up for it because you scored every 4 plays on offense. Sure. Alabama, you had some flaws in 2020. Right. Miami, I was 3 years old when they went on that run, but I imagine there was probably some flaws there. It's like,
Give me 04 USC, 03, 04 USC in that range.
What other teams in college football, just say over the last 25 years, do you trust to play a perfect game like that? No mistakes. Because that's what Indiana does.
Really, none of them. All these teams that I've mentioned are just extremely talented.
Yeah.
You look at the roster, NFL, all pro.
It's kind of crazy.
But as far as discipline, you think about 2014 at Florida State that has like a ridiculously loaded roster. 14 or 13 Florida State that had a ridiculously loaded roster. 13 because that was the first year. Yeah. That was the last year of BCS. Their roster was bleeping stupid.
Yeah.
But they often just out-talented teams.
Mm-hmm.
Indiana. Now, do you give any credence to Indiana? They're hacking your practice field. They're hacking your practice film.
No, I don't.
They know what plays you're running because they're hacking your film.
I want that to be true so bad because it just makes the story all that more interesting. I would much rather hear that, Kurt Cignetti figured out a way to cheat than just, he's the best coach in college football. Best coach in football, maybe, period. But I think it is the latter, unfortunately.
Ollie Woods, best at stealing signals, LOL. Maybe.
There's a chance. Look, it's happened before. And look, even if they are doing it, nobody's going to do anything. Nothing happened to Michigan. Nothing would happen to Indiana.
Right. I mean, people talk about, I want my team to be on the up and up. Shoot.
I want my team to cheat.
If the Bears are cheating, I don't care.
I don't care one bit. Please, Titans cheat more.
We'll pay the penalty after we're holding up a trophy.
Exactly. That is how professional sports work.
You've lost 3 draft picks. Okay.
You see this pretty trophy?
They're finding you. You're losing draft picks.
Throw it on. Yeah, I wish the Titans would cheat. They very clearly have not.
I know the right answer is no. I want my team to be playing. That's the right answer. That's what we should be espousing from our position. But when you're talking to my fandom heart,
look, it makes our job a lot more fun if Indiana's cheating.
Yeah, I just don't believe it.
I don't either.
I don't believe it.
I don't believe it. Well, for a second, the only bit of, and I won't even say credible evidence of, the only bit of any evidence I have seen that somewhat is perplexing to me is however many pick sixes they have on the first plays of games, and then you look at their one game against Old Dominion, and Old Dominion burned them for a 75-yard touchdown first play of the game. It's interesting because, you would think, okay, they prepared for all those teams and then took that week off probably because they knew they were playing ODU. But I don't think there's any credence to it. I think Curt Cignetti just is that guy.
I don't think there's any credence to it, but if I were some of these teams on their schedule, I'd start looking at all my comms and all my systems and all my cloud data.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, do we need to adjust how we're doing our practice film, how we're doing our,
But go back to physical media.
And
give every kid a notebook and a videotape at the beginning of the week.
When I played in high school, coach sent us home with a DVD.
That's good stuff.
To watch. Yeah. Well, I will take Indiana. I want to take Miami just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
I think that they're going to have a pretty decent chance. I do think Miami's got a decent chance. Better chance than Oregon and a better chance than Alabama, specifically because of what they do on the offensive and defensive line. I think that those things can disrupt Indiana. No, I think Indiana is really superior on the offensive and defensive line also. I think Carson Beck is probably just going to hit a butt ton of screen passes to Malachi Toney. I think they're going to run the ball. What's the name? Something Black. Marcus Black. That's not his name.
Dang it. If you had asked me, I probably could. If you hadn't asked me, I bet I could remember. What is that?
Fletcher. Michael Fletcher, right? M. Fletcher.
That sounds right. Of course, it takes me to the
Dolphins. Mark Fletcher. Fletcher Jr. 1,080 yards. So no, we were not even close with Malachi with Black. It's Kalen Black for Indiana. I think it'll be. I think Indiana probably still covers 8.5. I think it's going to be a 10-point game. I think I'll go 27-17. That still feels low for Indiana, disrespectful, but that's kind of what I just have a gut feel of 27-17. Hoosiers?
35-10.
Oh, I do think that gets me jacked up when Curt Cignetti his personality shifts and he lets it go. It's like the dog that's really disciplined, but then you tell him he can play. He's all mean face, and then he's like, Hoosiers? Yeah. He's like, oh yeah, that gets me jacked up.
Yeah, I very much enjoyed seeing just a touch of his personality after that last win. Coming out.
I want to go have a beer.
I want to go have a beer right now. I'm not even thinking about the championship. That was good. A lot of Alabama fans, I'm sure, are not huge fans of his after the way they treated Alabama in the playoff, but I, for one, am a big Curt Cignetti guy.
I don't think they treated,
especially if he's cheating.
I don't think they treated Alabama any type of way. I think they treated Alabama like they treat everyone.
A nameless, faceless opponent.
Yes, exactly.
And Bama fans did not like that.
Yeah, no, you should respect the Tide. Well, don't get your doors.
I mean, because he was asked directly. What was it? The weight or the gravity of Alabama, the aura of Alabama. He was asked about, and he's like, I don't care. We prepare for them like we do every other team.
All right, so that's going to be the plan. You can watch the national championship game on Monday. We'll talk about it on Tuesday. We'll talk about Alabama, Oklahoma on Tuesday as well. If you think about it, leave me a comment. What's the coldest game you've ever been to, and do you have any advice? Mason, they say it's going to be around 10, 12 degrees in Chicago with wind chill of -1, 0, -2 degrees. And my ticket is at the top of the stadium.
Godspeed.
Yeah.
Oh man.
If there's no show on Wednesday, I got frostbite and died.
He's stuck up in the bleachers at Soldier Field, just frozen to the bench.
If that's the way we go, praise the Lord.
Oh man. I don't know. I've not had to experience too many cold weather games. I had to play in a couple in high school, but even then it wasn't anything compared to that.
I was trying to think about it last night, and I was like, was it the 2010, the comeback? I mean, that was a nasty game, but it was rainy. It was Black Friday, but it wasn't. It was 42. It was 38. Yeah. It was in that range. It wasn't 0. It wasn't 10 degrees. I don't think I've ever been in a 10-degree situation.
It's cold.
I went and bought a bunch of hot hands pack last night. I packed up a bunch of stuff. So,
but layer up. That's the best advice I can give you.
That's right. So we'll find out what it's like, and we'll talk to you on Tuesday. We hope you have a great weekend. I appreciate it. Look, Appreciate everybody who's watched the show, who's listened to the show. You guys mean so much to me. Keith, you've jumping in and commenting so much as you've done lately. Cameron, jumping in and commenting as much as you've done lately as well, leaving us voicemails. Ollie Woods, we appreciate everybody who participates in the show, everybody who listens to the show in the background. You guys are really special too. We really love you all. We'll talk to you on Tuesday right here on the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral, BamaCentral.com.